the reason for this podcast interview, the reason for this podcast episode, is because I had a coaching call last week. And as we were talking to my client, he and I were talking about what does he need to do in order to be able to start monetizing. So I listened to a couple of episodes, and all of my clients, they fill out a 4-page avatar questionnaire. So I've got the avatar questionnaire in front of me, and he's telling me, I'm looking at that. He's telling me that he's serving his avatar, and I'm looking at it being like, bro, what is happening? Like, why did you have an episode about this? And he goes, oh, I was really interested in that. Okay, why did you have an episode about this other thing? Ooh, that was a really great episode. That was fun. I was so glad that I did this. And I said, so what's the point of you having your podcast again? Is the reason that you have your show because you want to learn yourself? He says, no. No, it's not because of that. Okay, man. What are you looking for? What do you want? He's like, I want my avatar. He inserts the name. I want my avatar to hire me. I want to work with my avatar. I want to serve my avatar. I want to be the best resource for my avatar. I want to get referrals from my listener to other people that are my avatar. And I said, well, then why are you doing these things? And he said again, as if he wasn't, how do I say it? He said it again as if he didn't get the point the first time. Okay. He repeated himself again. It's because I thought it was interesting. And I said, that's not serving your avatar. And he goes, no, it is. And he kind of like became argumentative. He kind of became, what's the word for that? When defensive. Yeah. He kind of became a little bit defensive, and he was like, no, my avatar is just like me. They want to know this. And so I had to take a deep breath, and I said, okay, but your avatar is this person at this point in their life. And when you have this type of content, it's confusing to them. And this is the reason why this client, he's brand new to working with us. And I'm trying to support him and help him so that he can grow. And he was just having a hard time understanding that his listener, because he has had his podcast for a long time. And then he decided to switch over to us because his friend got a lot of results by working with us. And so he was like, he was argumentative, he was defensive, and he had a reason for everything. And finally, let me just fast forward. Finally, by the end of the conversation, he goes, you're right. I have been talking above my avatar. I have been assuming that my avatar has been with me for all of these episodes. Now, he had about 700 episodes. That I think that's why I keep saying that number, but he had about 700 episodes. And he was like, you're right. I've been getting bored with the podcast. I don't know what to do. So here's what I shared. I let him know, hey, the smartest people out there are the ones who know how to explain things simply. I want you to be able to explain things simply. So over here, you're talking about IRR. So IRR, for those of you who don't know, it's basically for investing. It gives you some sort of cash on cash return. Now, IRR gets more complicated than that because you can only figure it out by using an algorithm. You can only figure it out by using like Excel or a really powerful calculator. But by plugging things into Excel, it calculates things and it determines an IRR. But an IRR isn't something that we can figure out on our own. It's called internal rate of return. So this person obviously has a investing podcast, and he's looking at this and he's talking about IRR, and he's talking about a lot of other things. And I said, next time you say IRR, think about your avatar the way they were when you first met them, because you're on episode 700. And can I tell you something that's going to make you cry? He says, yeah. Okay, I'm going to tell you something that's going to make you really, really sad. And I know that because it made me depressed when I thought of it. And now you, the listener, you're going to be a little sad too. I told him that on episode 701, you're going to have somebody who that's the first episode they ever listened to. And he goes, well, yeah. okay, bro, if you already know that somebody's listening for the very first time, then why do you keep acting like everybody knows everything that you ever talked about? When you say something like IRR, break it down in a simple fashion. And this isn't about you being as smart as possible. This is not the goal. The real goal here is for you to be able to explain things simply so that your avatar is with you every step of the way.